Virginia. Today on Restricted, we'll be teaching an old tool some new tricks and getting into trouble with a bike named Frank. We're glad you could make it. Come on inside.
To tell the story of Frank is to tell the story of the human condition, with all its glory and fanfare, all its humility and self-doubt. Frank has all that stuff. Frank's battles are the same as yours and mine. Love versus hate, joy versus rage. You, me, Frank, we're all just the sum of our choices. We're all judged by the company we keep. We all have a heart. We all have a soul. We're all equal. Except Frank has a custom tubular chromoly single-sided swing arm with 26-inch street-legal ATV tire as well. Frank started life as a well-used 2007 Triumph Speed Triple 1050, a high-performance naked sport bike, torquey but tired, fast but forgettable. We purchased it from a man named Chris, who runs a motorcycle salvage and repair shop a few miles from our secret headquarters. He bought it at auction in non-running condition, the victim of an apparent wheelie gone too far. Chris sometimes convinces us to buy things we don't really need, and this was no exception. After the purchase, we promptly allowed the bike to sit for 18 to 24 months, awaiting the right opportunity. That opportunity came at the hands of Mr. Fletcher Bookman, brand manager for Rebel Yell Bourbon, St. Louis, Missouri. We came to know Fletch in 2016 when he commissioned us to build a motorcycle for Rebel Yell's Rebels Uncaged summer promotion. The promotion culminated with the ride to Sturgis, South Dakota, where we and 3 other builders unveiled our bikes on stage at the world-famous Buffalo Chip. When Fletch asked us to build another bike for 2017, we agreed enthusiastically. The crew at Rebel Yell and the builders involved are our kind of people. Plus, Fletch is pretty good at karaoke. Rebel Yell gave us very few creative restraints and the freedom to do most anything we wanted. In the beginning, we set out to build a motorcycle. In the end, we had built a new best friend. Hi, I'm John, this is Donick, and this is Frank. You've kind of gotten a little bit of the backstory about him, but now we're going to take you through some technical things. Even though Frank's sort of taken on a life of his own as kind of a member of the team, has a lot of character, he's still got a lot of technological advancements that we want to show you. So we're going to walk you around the bike and show you some of the cool nerdy fabrication stuff that Donick has done. Alright?
So the most modification that's been done to this bike is at the rear. The swing arm is being custom built just so we can fit this big knobby tire, so we can do some hill climbing. We had chromoly tubing bent for us, and then we pieced it together here at the shop. It was many hours of welding, a lot of fun. So it was pretty important for us to get a hub that has a full bolt pattern. In this case, this is off a VFR 800. It works perfectly with the rim that we have for it. The trellis swing arm wraps around this big old tire, and the chain goes through the swing arm. We had to do a lot of reinforcing because we're trying to err on the safe side, since we had to ride 1,000 miles from Washington to South Dakota. So the exhaust is, as you see, is custom here at the rear. Take a lot of work actually getting everything straight and clearing the swing arm and the shock, but everything kind of worked out at the end.
So one of the most prominent design features of Frank is the tank. As far as plastic tanks go, it looks pretty cool, and it's part of a phenomenon because everybody who sees the tank, they knock on it like this. Anyway, we just kind of started doing some experiments with resin and different fabrics, and we settled on a lady's fine beige twill from the fabric store. And we just layered that on, put some more resin on, and then we started writing out the whole owner's manual on one side, and then on the other side we wrote like every part that's non-stock to the bike.
I still remember when you wouldn't see me. I still remember that god-awful feeling. I don't remember how I ever got through walking away. Why can't I lie when everything's go wrong? Why can't I speak but take on my tongue? Why can't I lie when everything's okay? Why can't I speak when I know what I want to say? Everything is alright, everything is okay. I don't ever want to go back. Why can't I lie when everything's go wrong? Why can't I speak but take on my tongue? Why can't I lie when everything's okay? Why can't I speak when I know what I want to say?
Hello there, John and Donick here from Classified Moto in Richmond, Virginia. Today we're going to be showing you how to get that last little bit of life out of those old tools around the shop. Recently, we picked up this horizontal and vertical bandsaw from Jet Tools. Cuts like butter, straight as an arrow, solid as a rock, and built to last. It replaces this little guy that we call the reindeer, because he looks like a reindeer. Doesn't have a whole lot of life left in him, but he can still help out with some specialty jobs around the shop. So there you have it. Hopefully you got some ideas about putting these old tools to use once you upgrade to tools like the Jet bandsaw. Thanks and have a great day. In life, there are certain people who everyone either seems to love or hate. Sometimes there are people that have a real distinctive style or they are very outspoken. Lots of reasons that people would either be repelled by them or attracted to them. And we feel this describes Frank very well. So this is Corey. She's our shop buddy. And this is Matt. He's our director. And I have enlisted their help to read some of the comments that we've gotten on the internet. So these are all real comments, and they're all about Frank. And we'll let Corey go first.
Dark and Cheesy says, a whole lot of wow all over that.
J.H. Ledke says, not normally into bikes, but that's badass.
Marty Haas 14 writes, nice freaking bike, with an exclamation point and some friendly emojis.
Jeff P says, this bike is sick. Awesome job.
Alexander S says, absolutely gorgeous.
Nate EMC says, holy that's awesome.
Mike V says, who is building these knobbied sport bikes with giant front brakes and no rear fenders? They're like something a 10-year-old would dream up and build with their Legos.
Stuart C says, to be frank, I would imagine it rides as bad as it looks.
Alex M says about Frank, This is truly awful. Literally good at nothing.
There is no doubt that Classified knows its way around bikes, but that alone doesn't answer the question why. Cartoonish buffoonery.
Not cool. Wrong.
Looks ridiculous. Why the hell did they do that?
Oh, here's a nice one. Il Parrot says, this bike is the shit. Actually, they say this bike is shit.
Dave C simply says, vomit, vomit.
I don't think he meant that in a nice way.
I hate to think that Frank has an inner sadness, or that he would ever feel ashamed of who he's become. That in quiet moments he might dwell on the insults thrown his way. It's hard to know if we've done right by Frank. Maybe we pushed him too hard, or not hard enough. Are we blind to his shortcomings? Perhaps. Have we ruined him completely? Who's to say? Because for every hater who looks at Frank and sees a freak, someone else sees a shining star. For every troll who aims to crush his spirit, there's a kind soul who lifts him up. Frank brings people together, whether by common admiration or mutual disdain. Love him or hate him, Frank has left his mark and he's made us proud. Now he's leaving the nest, and I've just got to trust that we've taught him the important things. Be strong, but kind. Be thankful for your friends. Ask more of yourself than you do of others. Be humble in victory and gracious in defeat. No one has the right to call you a loser. And if they do, tell them, call me Frank, you miserable asshole.
Why can't I lie when everything's go wrong?